Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are chatting with the one and only Brian Draper, looking ahead to Cage Warriors 187 in Glasgow, massive event on the 19th of April. Brian, thank you so much for joining me. It's obviously your professional debut. How much are you looking forward to finally getting into the pro game?
Oh, it's a dream come true, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've been waiting for this opportunity for a very long time, and it just sort of came about very quickly the last sort of 7 8 weeks, and yeah, I was more than ready to take this opportunity with Cage Warriors. Yeah.
How did this opportunity come about? And when you finally did find out about the fight, what was your first thoughts? Were you like, yes, let's do this? Or did you have were you hesitant at all? Or were you just ready to get in there?
Um, So it came about with my head coach Andy Ryan. He has great connections with Ian and with Graham and stuff like that. And a lot of my teammates, excuse me, would be also in the Cage Warriors. And a lot of my coaches, like Paul Redmond and stuff, and Neil Sturdy, they were all former Cage Warriors fighters. And it's just our gym is kind of like we've fed a lot of high level guys to Cage Warriors over the years. So it was kind of like a natural progression for me to go into Cage Warriors. I've worked at their events and stuff just helping out, just being around it. I've been cornered lads over in the UK and stuff like Adam Darby and stuff. So I've been around it. It's familiar to me, and it was just it was what I've always wanted. You know what I mean? To fight in them yellow gloves. Like I didn't want to. I didn't. Like I got offered a fight on FCC and stuff like that. Like wasn't so like. It was after the fact that I got offered the Cage Warriors, but it was like I still was so happy that I got the Cage Warriors opportunity first because if I had taken the FCC fight, like it would have been like, I don't know, like it's just not the same. You know what I mean? Like when you're fighting Cage Warriors, the next step is the UFC. Like that's it. Like so, but how I felt about the fight, look, I've never had an easy fight in amateur, whether that was in MMA or in kickboxing, K1, even in grappling. I've competed at like ADCC Ireland, like in the pro division, took a silver medal. I've just never really had it easy. That's because heavyweight, there's not a lot of options, anyways. Um, but I was more than happy to fight Jamie MacDonald. You know what I mean? Even though he's 3-1, 4-1, like he's more experienced, all this stuff. But he's the top. He's in the top 25 in Europe at professional. If I go in there and I put him out in the first round, where does that put me as a pro debut? You know what I mean?
I mean that was really my next question because I mean as far as pro debuts go, I mean I've looked at your record and you're the kind of guy who likes to challenge himself. Can you talk about your mentality? Because I'm sure a lot of people would like to have an easier start to their professional debut, whereas you're jumping straight into the cage warriors, which, as you said, is just one step away from the likes of the UFC.
Yeah, but that was always the plan for me. Like you look at my amateur record, it's like it's 3-6, and you're thinking, but you look at them first four fights, like they're all against guys in IMAF. Like they're not like I came straight from K1. I didn't I didn't have any like novice fights in the cage and grappling competitions and all this sort of stuff. I came straight from a K1 background, straight into Team Rhino at 16 to like then at 18 taking my first amateur fight in IMAF to then fighting like all the best guys you can find in the UK and Ireland. That's what Andy's job was. Like, or not his job, but that was his plan. He never wanted me to have easy fights. He's always taking hard fights for me because he believes that's just the best way to prove yourself. It's the best way to test yourself. Like, it's you ever heard of the motto? If you run 100 meters with five people that are slower than you, your time will not nearly be as quick than if you ran with five people that were faster than you. You know what I mean? So even though like I could go out there and fight a bunch of guys that were technically on my experience level, amateur, what was that going to do for me? I actually had one fight in K1 against a guy that wasn't as good as me, and I actually felt guilty beating the fuck out of him in the cage, in the ring. I'm not even being funny. Like I felt guilty. Like I didn't feel right. And even though like I won and stuff, it didn't sit with me right afterwards. I was like, that guy was not on my level. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not what the sport. That's not what sport is about. Um, but yeah, I don't know what I went off of a tangent there, but I don't know. I just want to fight the best of the best because then it's going to make me ultimately better. Because when you do eventually get to the UFC and even PFL nowadays, like there's no easy fights anymore, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to be prepared. Like you look at these guys that are fighting on their club shows. and they're fighting 3-4-0 first round KOs, and then they go and they fight on like cage warriors, or they fight on PFL, or they fight on, I don't know, Aries or something in France, and they're getting stopped, and it's like, what the heck? Like, that can't be good for your head, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. The question I also had about motivation, a career in professional MMA is not easy. Why are you motivated to do it? Is it to make a bit of money? Is it for legacy? Is it for family? What is it about it?
That's actually a great question, because obviously when you first start down on this, especially coming from Ireland, like I started MMA just before Conor, like just around the Conor McGregor time. Obviously, everyone's looking at Conor McGregor. You're like, you can be a millionaire with this game. Where that's not really what I've been doing martial arts since I'm 6 years old. So it's always been about the love and just about the competition. But then obviously when you're a young teenager, you get them ideas in your head that like, oh, you're gonna be a millionaire, and you're gonna do all of this, and you're gonna have the watches and the cars. And but as you get a little bit older, and when you actually commit your life to this game, you realise that it's not that easy, and that does not come about very often. So now, so at this stage in my career, I'm sort of thinking, it's for me. I always thought it was for my family. It's from doing for other people. It's for me, man. Like, I love this. I would not, like, what else am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing it for I'm doing it for nearly 12 years now. Like, I love doing it. You know what I mean? Like, fighting is scary. You know, it's so scary. Like, I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's the feeling afterwards. It's the best feeling I've ever felt in my life. Like, every single time, it's no better feeling. Win or lose, like, even when you lose, like, you're still like, you're proud of yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. What about Brian from the the business perspective, from the money perspective? How are you managing to finance this professional career? Are you working at the moment? Are you balancing jobs? How are you managing to keep it going?
Yeah. Scaffolding is a big part of my life. My uncle has probably one of the biggest scaffolding companies in the country, and I've worked for him since I'm young, like since I'm 17, 18, and he's given me a lot of leeway over the years, like coming up to fights, giving me 3 weeks off, letting me work, like giving me a couple of weeks off before a big fight so that I can dial in and focus, get the last bits of training sort of tuned in. Like, let me work 3 days a week sometimes, just so I could still have an income um, while training. But lately, because scaffolding is such a physically demanding job, lately I've picked up on coaching a lot. I've been doing a lot of PTs, like striking PTs and stuff like that, because I am striking a very long time. I have a world title in K1 in the WMO organization. Like, I've got the high levels in striking, so I can offer that back to people, which is good, and it then allows me to be in the gym a lot more. It has me around all the time, so I'm sort of emerged fully in the martial arts lifestyle. But I still, like, right now, like, me and my brother here, we're going to do a Nick search. You know what I mean? Like, it's on a Sunday. We're actually taking a scaffold down. It's only a small job, but like a couple of months ago, that was worth 5, 6, 700 quid to us. You know what I mean? Like that goes. That's a month worth of food for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I know that's not made on the rational lines here, not by no means, but that's like, that's just the way it is. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, we're not making a lot of money here. Like even Fire Cage where they debut, they're not making a lot of money, especially when I'm fighting in Glasgow. Like, I can't go out there and sell 200 tickets, because realistically, am I gonna get 200 people to come from Dublin? Like, not really. Like, it's hard. It's expensive.
The end goal for you in MMA, what is it? Is it the UFC? Is it becoming a champion in a major organization? What's the end goal for you, would you say?
End goal for me is the UFC. I've had three dreams. I've 3 dreams in life, right? The first one was to get a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, because that, when I first, like, I remember when I started Team Rhino and looking at guys that had purple belts, and they were so good. You know what I mean? I was looking at them going, like, if I could get a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, that is high level, man. You know what I mean? And I got a purple belt. I'm a purple belt a couple of years now. I'm nearly a brown belt. I probably should have a brown belt if I done more gi. But so I have my purple belt. My next goal and dream was always to fight and to win on Cage Warriors and then Yellow Gloves. And my third final goal is to fight and win in the UFC. So I'm about 6 days away from completing goal number 2. And then after that, it's only to get to the UFC. I mean, like, belts and stuff like that and money, that's great, but like, as I said, like as I get a little bit older, a little bit more mature, I realise that I've already accomplished so much. I've IMAF medals, I've world titles in K1, I've fought some really high level guys. I've had some great nights in the cage. To win on Cage Warriors, maybe win a Cage Warriors title, then get a chance in the UFC. I'd be so happy with that, man. Like that's more than 99.9% of the world could even do. Like, so yeah, that would be like unbelievable for me. Like, really, it would like where I come from, man. Genuine, this is what people do all day. Like, you know what I mean? They drive around in pickup trucks trying to make a few extra quid for themselves. You know what I mean? So to be fighting in arenas and stuff like that's amazing. They're memories forever.
That's epic. I've just got one last question for you. For people who've never seen you in action, what can they expect on April the 19th?
People can expect entertainment. I've been told since I'm a child that my style puts bums in seats. I've never. If you actually look at my record in MMA, they've all been 3 round fights. It's because I don't know what it is. I get drawn into fights and I just love fighting, man. I love, and I've always put on performance of the night or fighting the night, like, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like, I've 2 extra minutes every round. It suits my style, man. Like there's probably gonna be half the arena there on Saturday for my fight because I'll probably be early enough up. But I guarantee you, all of them people will remember my fight. You know what I mean? Everyone will be like, "Oh, that big lad, Jesus Christ, he moves well." You know what I mean? He hits hard, he hits fast. I leave an impression on people, and nobody but God to thank for that because he's the one that blessed me with these skills. You know what I mean? And yeah.